Imagine this, a lifetime spent trying to fit in, striving for their approval, and shaping yourself according to expectations that have nothing to do with you. You get lost in the pursuit of validation, fear judgment, and cling to the idea that your worth is measured by how others perceive you. But what if this state of caring too much, which you've been taught, is actually holding you back? What if true confidence, happiness, and success lie not in controlling everything, but in an action considered dangerous by some, letting go? Michel de Montaigne, a thinker far ahead of his time, explored this paradox in all its depth. His world of thought is a powerful guide to achieving inner freedom, self-acceptance, and living life free from unnecessary burdens. He challenged the fundamental truths we believe about identity, success, and the pressures society places on us. And perhaps the most shocking truth was this: the moment you give up external validation, life suddenly begins to fall into place. Think again. How much of your daily stress and frustration comes from striving for goals that aren't actually yours? How many times have you stepped back out of fear of being judged? How much energy have you spent on things that have almost no meaning in the grand scheme of life? Montaigne's philosophy confronts us with this simple but striking truth: the more we free ourselves from external pressures, the more we align with our authentic selves. He believed that life is inherently uncertain, that perfection is an illusion, and that self-acceptance is the highest form of wisdom. However, there's a fundamental point where most people go wrong. Not caring doesn't mean indifference, laziness, or apathy. This approach doesn't mean disconnecting from life or escaping responsibilities. On the contrary, it means freeing yourself from the constant need for approval, the fear of rejection, and the habit of overanalyzing every action. It means living on your own terms, being present in the moment, and not feeling obligated to prove anything to anyone. Montaigne spent much of his life observing human behavior and questioning human nature. He realized that people live in prisons created by their own minds, endless cycles of worry, lack of self-confidence, and insecurity. He questioned why we allow the opinions of others to guide our decisions, why we become obsessed with control in the face of life's uncertainty, and why we chase a definition of success that belongs to someone else. He asked the real question: what would happen if we simply stopped caring about all these things? When you leave behind the effort to be perfect, you begin to accept your flaws. When you stop caring about the approval of others, you start living for yourself. When you stop trying to control everything, you make room for life's natural flow. And here's the secret: the less you feel the need to prove yourself, the more powerful you become. Who are the most charismatic, the most confident people? Are they the ones constantly seeking approval, or are they the ones who don't sweat the small stuff and can be themselves comfortably? Montaigne grasped this truth centuries before modern psychology confirmed it. People are drawn to naturalness, to authenticity. When you stop seeking approval, accept yourself, and live with genuine confidence, you become more attractive, more effective not only in social relationships but in every area of life. The moment you leave behind the fear of rejection or failure, you gain something much more valuable: freedom. The freedom to take risks without overthinking. The freedom to express yourself without hesitation. The freedom to determine your worth from an internal place, not through the eyes of others. But here's the most surprising thing: letting go of worry not only brings inner peace, but things in your life actually start to improve. Relationships become more sincere, opportunities arise naturally, decisions become clearer, because now you know what you truly want, not just what you've been taught. This is the essence of Montaigne's thought system. Most of our suffering stems from trying to fit life into a specific mold. Whereas, when you let go of this mold, everything falls into place. Pause for a moment and think: how many times have you held back your thoughts just because of what others might think? How many times have you replayed a conversation in your head, obsessing over how you were perceived? How much of your life has been shaped by patterns that aren't yours? Montaigne inspires us to step outside these self-imposed boundaries. He invites us to embrace uncertainty, accept our flaws, and stop letting fears guide our choices. And this is just the beginning. As we delve deeper into Montaigne's philosophy, you'll also learn how to integrate this mindset into your daily life. You'll discover ways to break free from mental chains, act with confidence, and experience the freedom that letting go brings. Montaigne's philosophy isn't an abstract idea, it's a practical approach that can be applied to every moment of life. And now, let's ask this question: what changes when you embrace this mindset? What happens when you stop chasing approval, worrying about every possibility, and acting out of fear? Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that most of the fears that were weighing you down were never real. That the rules you tried to follow, the expectations you tried to meet, and the fears that imprisoned you were actually products of society, conditioning, and your own mind. Montaigne understood very well that humans are naturally anxious. We struggle with thoughts, try to predict the future, and fight against uncertainty. But what if the secret to happiness isn't solving everything, but accepting things as they are? One of Montaigne's most powerful messages is this: the world won't fully understand you, and that's perfectly acceptable. How many times have you tried to explain yourself to people who will never understand you? How much energy have you spent defending your choices or proving your worth? Whereas, all we need is our own internal approval. People think they'll lose motivation when they stop caring. But this is a misconception. True not caring means shifting your focus to what's important, withdrawing your energy from unnecessary burdens, and freeing yourself from things that don't add meaning to your life. Montaigne encourages us to accept flaws both in ourselves and in the world around us. He says that the obsession with control is a futile battle. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how much we plan, some things will always be beyond our control. So why not surrender to this truth instead of resisting it? Think about how much lighter you'd feel when you stop trying to control every detail of your life, when you stop overanalyzing every decision, when you start seeing mistakes as part of the journey instead of fearing failure. Montaigne reminds us that the greatest thinkers, artists, and leaders in history also experienced failure and misunderstanding. But they didn't let these situations define their identity. They walked their own path, not caring about the judgments of society, because they knew that true success lies not in external approval, but in internal integrity. And here's the best part: when you adopt this mindset, people notice. You become more confident, more influential, and more in control of your life. Because you're no longer wasting energy on things that don't serve you. Sometimes, some people seem to have natural success, while others struggle despite all their efforts. The difference isn't always in talent or hard work. It's in mindset. Those who succeed are the ones who can focus on what's truly important by letting go of unnecessary burdens. Montaigne's wisdom teaches us this: the more we can let go, the more we gain. When we let go of the fear of failure, we take risks. When we let go of the pursuit of approval, we become authentic. When we let go of the effort to control, we make room for life's spontaneity. That's why, when the philosophy of not caring is understood correctly, it's not about giving up, but about freeing yourself. It's about choosing where to direct our energy, focusing only on what's meaningful, and freeing ourselves from distracting, meaningless burdens. Take a look at your own life. How much stress comes from excessive sensitivity to the thoughts of others? How many times have you given up on something you really wanted out of fear of judgment? How many times have you replayed past mistakes in your head, as if punishing yourself would change them? Montaigne's approach liberates us from these mental chains. He reminds us that the past is already gone, the future remains uncertain, and the only thing we have is now. And when you start to fully enter this now with your whole being, everything starts to change. But there's more to discover. Because in the next step, we'll ask this fascinating question: how is true connection possible within detachment? The paradox of life is this: when you stop needing something, it comes to you easily. When you stop chasing approval, people respect you more. When you stop fearing failure, opportunities arise. When you stop trying to control everything, life offers you unexpected miracles. This is one of the deepest lessons in Montaigne's philosophy. Detachment isn't about escaping, it's about opening the door to deeper fulfillment. When you let go of trying to force outcomes, you open yourself to life's natural rhythm. And when you start walking in this rhythm, you experience something extraordinary: peace, power, and meaning. But let's return to this question: since letting go is so powerful, why do so few people succeed at it? The answer is simple: fear. We fear the unknown, failure, losing control. Society has taught us that we'll be safe if we hold on tightly to everything. But Montaigne showed that this is an illusion. No amount of control can eliminate uncertainty. No plan can prevent life's unexpected turns. And no amount of worry can change reality. Montaigne invites us to flow with life instead of resisting it, with all its uncertainties, flaws, and chaos. This is also how we build genuine connections: by not trying to control others, by accepting them as they are, by giving them the space to exist freely. Relationships that don't carry the burden of demands, expectations, and constant reassurance open the door to the deepest bonds. The healthier your relationship with yourself, the deeper your relationships with others will be. If you're constantly seeking approval, you haven't yet given yourself your own approval. If you fear being alone, you haven't yet found peace in your own presence. If you need others to act a certain way, you haven't yet built your own internal security. But when you turn your focus inward, when you stop trying to control people, when you stop fearing loneliness, when you start determining your worth with internal balance instead of external measures, then true freedom begins. Think about it, how much of your emotional energy is spent reacting to the behaviors and words of others? How many times has someone's words ruined your day? Have you ever realized, looking back, that the resentment or anger didn't actually serve any purpose? Montaigne teaches us that peace isn't found in the thoughts of others, but inside, in our own center. When you gain this awareness, your approach to the world changes. Criticism doesn't shake you. Uncertainty doesn't frighten you. And you see that you can love and appreciate people without trying to control them. This is possible when you stop caring about things that aren't truly important. And remember, letting go isn't about disconnecting from life. It's not about being indifferent. On the contrary, it's about connecting with the world more deeply, but without trying to control it. Montaigne's philosophy is about living with true priorities, directing energy towards what's meaningful, and quietly leaving behind the noise that remains. Let's end with one last question. What can you let go of that no longer serves you? What expectations, fears, or relationships are holding you back? And what does your life become when you let them go? Because as Montaigne shows, letting go is liberating. And the more you can let go, the more space life offers you. Create the reality of your dreams. Thank you for embarking on this journey with me. If this video resonated with you, I kindly ask that you subscribe to our channel and like the video. Share it so others can benefit from this message, and don't forget to leave a comment below sharing your reflections. Thank you again for watching and joining me. Take care, and see you soon.